how y'all guys doing? All right, so I want to go over a few strategies in your life, okay? Um, is there something that you want to do, right? We all want to get a resolution. We all want to get there and do something better than what we've been, right? Like I like to say, are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you trying to be better every single day than you were the day before, right? Something, right? Reading a passage out of a book, right? Learning a new skill, developing a new exercise within your body or regimen, maybe going for that walk. But there has to be a strategy, right? And it's very simple, right? People say, hey, write things down. I say that, write it down, right? Talk to yourself about it. But a lot of times with your daily grind, energy levels, so forth, what could be hard is being consistent with just maybe doing one thing, right? Doing one thing that's out of the ordinary. And so what I want to talk about is strategizing at a more of a basic level from that for all of us that want to do a little better. So a lot of times when I help clients out with nutrition programs, so forth, I don't go cold turkey with a lot of their things, unless it's necessary, right? I help a wrestler out, as far as him losing weight and even with then, I tend to ease off on certain things. I tend to see what that he likes or doesn't like. But most recently, he had to lose even more weight quicker, and so we had to go strict on him. But the thing is he went for a month and a half of doing, something more moderate, so it'll be easier for him to slide into what I have for him now. But with that being said, it's all about strategy, right? But a lot of times I'm helping on a nutrition end with clients. What I work with is let's change one meal. Right? Let's not change all the meals. Let's work on one meal, right? Or you know what? Like that's not really that bad. Let's work on a food. Let's take this food out and put this food in, or let's work on a time, right? And so it's not even about that, man. It's like strategize and say what's the little thing I could change, and then after a few weeks, changing something else, or a few days, you're like, hey, I got this down. Changing something else. So we got to be able to strategize. So one thing I want to talk about is strategizing. Number one. Strategize what you want to do. It's great writing things down. You should definitely write things down, but you also want to be honest with yourself. Do you see where I'm coming from? Be honest with what you're going to do with yourself. Don't say, oh man, I'm going to go chicken and rice 3 times a day, snacks 3 times a day, wake up at 5 a.m. You see all that Instagram stuff, man. It's a lot easier said than done, right? Some people, I'll be honest, I'm not a morning person. I've got to really get going for the morning time. But you know what? I am more of a night owl. And I get a lot of my things accomplished at night. And the way I look at it is this: I had a mentor and a boss and a coach, right? All wrapped into one. And his thing was this: when does your day start? Right? When does your day start? And when does your day finish? He's like, Ross, if you work overnight, I don't expect you to wake up at 5 a.m. You're working overnight. But if you wake up at 2 p.m., that's your morning. That's your morning cardio. That should get your morning routine done. That means your lunch might be 9 o'clock p.m. That's where everybody's going to bed. So when does your day start, fellas and gals? Think about that. Think about your time frame. Once again, I'm not a 5 a.m. guy. I have a brother. He's a 5 a.m. guy. I'm not. But, man, most of my grinding takes place later on in the day. Right? I get a lot of stuff accomplished through the day, but all my ideas, everything I start writing down, man, that's after everybody's in bed. That's when my imagination, that's when my creative juices start flowing. And what's so funny is we've seen a lot of those little cartoons and memes and things on social media, like, you're trying to fall asleep, boom, your brain's awake. Man, I take that seriously, because that's when I start saying, okay, my imagination's working. My ideas are coming into place, right? So not only do you want to strategize some of the small things, but you want to actually get to know who you are, right? Know who you are. Say, man, this is me, right? This is when I get things done. This is when I start having ideas. This is when I get energy. Okay? You got to say, this is my day. Right? My day, guys, my day doesn't start at 5. I can't do that. Right? I can't do that. I can do 6:30. I can do 7:30. 5's not going to work. But guess what? I have a day. I'm proactive. I get to work, get to do what I need to do as far as what I'm trying to accomplish in my life, right, throughout the day. Then anything after that, anything that's like, hey man, this is creative, this is imaginary, this is what I want to accomplish, I can do this, I could be able to prioritize, that stuff happens at the end of my day. That stuff happens when everybody else has gone to sleep. That's how I work. That's exactly how I work. And that's okay. So you find you. So one, strategize, right? And when I mean strategize, you strategize based on knowing yourself and changing the smallest things. Strategize in that first. Strategize saying, let me start some very small where I need to, and I grow as long as you're consistent, right? Strategizing, consistency, know yourself. Strategizing, consistency, know yourself. Those are three things I want to just talk about and get into today, guys. That's why I've been talking about strategize, saying this is what I want to do. If I need to write it down, I'll write it down. Prioritize, knowing, man, I want, here's the big picture, right? We're talking about pixels, right? You see in videos, you see them on pictures, pixels. You might need to start with a small pixel. You start adding pixels, create a larger picture. When you pull out of the frame, guess what happens? Pull out of the frame, boom. Now you're seeing the whole picture. And those pixels create an image, right? So you got to start small, change something small. If you want to know about that, reach out to me. Like, guys, I've made it a really big habit of teaching others and based on myself, teaching myself how to start super small, change one small thing, right? Because all of our lives are different, right? Strategize, boom, boom, boom. Prioritize, boom, boom, boom. Know yourself. When you know yourself, that's the most part of strategizing and prioritizing. When you know yourself, no, man, I can't do the 5 a.m. When you know yourself, you're able to then put your strategy and your priorities into place. Know yourself, know what you can and can't do. And when I mean also know yourself, know your schedule. Know what you can and you can't change, right? There are some things initially that we don't want to change. We know we need to, but we know we know right now we're not ready for that. So say, I can change these. And guys, when you do need to get to that point to change a few of those other things, you can, because you've already done the small pixels on the other side, right? And now you're starting to change who you are in a more positive light, right? You're starting to change who you are in a more positive light. You're starting to also say, hey, this is who I want to be. This is where I kind of want to go. This is who I used to be, and I want to get back there, right? You got to, you've wired yourself one way, and you've got to unwire yourself, untangle those wires, right? The Christmas lights, untangle those Christmas lights in order to get to where you used to be at or to where you want to be at, right? We also have to untangle the new Christmas lights too, don't we? So you want to do something new, you got to change some stuff up. Strategize, which means put in order of what you want to do, but also be mindful and prioritize of your day. And best of all, and most important, know yourself. Know yourself in order to do the strategizing and prioritizing. And guess what all of that kind of comes into is what I've said in my previous videos. When you think it, you believe it, and you speak it, you can create it. And all that kind of goes into it, right? Know yourself, strategize, prioritize. Think, believe, speak, and you will create it. Same thing. I'm not telling you know yourself, and then what's that fourth one, right? Thing is this, once you know yourself and you prioritize, once you know yourself with the priority and the strategy, you can accomplish what you want to do. And guys, the only person you're racing against is yourself. Don't look at social media. Don't even look at your friends or family doing something. You look at yourself. In CrossFit, there's a thing called a chipper. A chipper is, 2, 3, 4, 500 different reps of like maybe, 15, 20, 30 different exercises. And you chip away at the reps and you chip away at the exercises until you're done. But if you quit midway, it doesn't really matter. But it's not about the person next to you, it's about you. Because every day in CrossFit and those cross-training gyms and exercises, but hey, it's about being better than what you were before, right? Saying, man, this is where I'm starting at. That's how life is, guys. Call it life fit, all right? But with that being said, strategize, prioritize, most importantly, know yourself. I'm gonna leave you with this. If you think it, you believe it, speak it, and you create it. I want you to think it, believe it, speak it, create it, guys. Until next time.